Hello. Yes, today I'm doing a different video. Yes, I am. I put my gloves because it's a little cold here because I'm by the river, by the not the river. This is like a lake, and there is a small island here. It's called the City Island. It's in Canning Town, nearby Canning Station. So you can see the a little of the building. There is loads of buildings in this island here. So yes, I'm here in the park. People does exercise around here, running. Um, yes, about 2 years I'm not coming to this park because of the COVID, and I was, not coming here. But today I decided to plant some plants here in the park. So I came to soil some plants here. So now I decided to do a video here, my legacy video. Okay. Yes, I have done the last one a long time ago already, about a month ago. So it's time for me to go back to this and do another one. So I did decided to do here in the park nearby this beautiful place, looking at the water and the birds and the ducks. To be grateful to where I am living, and how the life had a big turn on my destiny. So yes, this is, I think it's number 9. If I'm not wrong, it's number 9. You're gonna hear the noise of the trains because the Royal Docks runs in this track here. Can you hear? Yes. So let me see. You can see things like. So yes. Life has been very good to me in many ways. I have been struggling a lot, of course. Lots of struggling in my life. Has been okay, all good, all good. So the last video I did, I was still in Goiania. Yes, I finished my university in religion studies. So it was at the end of 1979. I'm gonna get the right dates now, okay? I'm not gonna say 2000 something like. Yeah, so the train again. It was finishing 1979 when I finished my course, and then I decided to go back to Brasilia. 79, I was 79, so I was 27. Okay. Oh, it's the train again. It's gonna be this noise all the time now. So we decided to go back, and then we opened a little business in my parents' house. It was a factory, a small factory. So it was very okay, and I was doing a good job. I had some people working for me. But then life changed again because my sister decided to marry. She had a long-term boyfriend, so decided to get married. And my brother found also his partner. So 1980, 1980 was the time where they married. Both of them married the same year, 1980. So I was left by myself to run the business. So I decided, okay, it's not worth for me to be by myself running the business. So I decided to sell all the machines, and I started to work for other people. It was very nice. It was very good for some time. Me and my brother, you had some traveling around also before he got married. So it was 1998. Was very nice. Okay, 1998 was very nice. We had a very good time. I had a good time in Brasilia. I was, I was having lots of friends, and going out a lot, and going to my concerts that I like to. So it was a very nice year. But then they got married, and then I decided, okay, let me run my life in another way. So I started to work for other people. But then my sister was pregnant at the end of 98. So 1981, she had the baby. So from 98 to 1991, 98 to 1981, I was working for other people and doing things here and there, and having my jobs, having a good life. So my mother then sent me, called my sister-in-law and said, look, Aveni, my ex-husband was trying to contact me. And then I got very upset, because I said, look, I gave him all the chances in the world and he didn't took, so now I'm not going to give him any chance. Tell him to get lost. But then my sister had a baby in July, 1st of July, 1981. So I had to go to visit her, yes, to pay my respect to her and the baby. So my mother told my ex-husband that I was coming to Goiania, yeah, to visit the baby, to visit the baby and my sister. So what happened is, when I arrived in the hospital, because I went straight from the bus station, the international bus station, to Extradual. Oh, I don't know, state, because it was about 3 hours drive. The journey was about 3 hours. So when I went from the station direct to the hospital. So when I got to the hospital, I was looking at the baby, the things that it was my first niece. So it was like something special. So when I was there, he arrived, my ex-husband arrived. It was a surprise for me, but not for my sister, my mother, because my mother was the one to, arrange everything. What's happened is, I moved to Goiânia again to be with him, because he promised that, this time he was serious and they're going to have a good time, then you're going to have a nice relationship, etc., etc. He promised, and I believe on his promises. I trust him, which I should not, knowing him the way he was. But anyway, destiny is destiny. You can avoid destiny, you can avoid it. So the result of it was, I moved to Goiânia again by August of 1981, and by September he decided that he wants to go to United States, to live United States. I was heartbroken, because I moved myself. I moved from one city. I quit my jobs there. I quit everything in there and moved to Goiania to be with him. And so you're gonna get married and settle down, etc. And then now he decided to go to United States. It was a heartbroken for me, really. But I said, okay, what can I do? He wants to go. You know, you can guide people. You have to allow them to do whatever they want to do. So here is coming another train. Anyway, so by end of September, he was already leaving Goiania to go to United States. But what's happened is he got caught in United States because he was trying to get in illegally, because legally he didn't manage. So he was catched by the police, by the immigration, and he was put in prison. In the immigration, whoever, you know. So by then I was feeling very unwell. And when he left, the day he took the airplane to go to United States, I said, okay, enough is enough. Now it's finished. I don't want anything with him anymore. I don't want anything. I want to run my life the way I want it. I was already working, because I working in the same place he was working, because he was working for a lady. And when I arrived, the lady loved me to death. And then she said, oh, you are going to come to work for me also. And then I was working. We are working together in the same place. So he left. I continued working for her. So, and then when I was there, I felt that something was not quite right with me. So I decided to go to the doctor, and she said, look, I'm going to send you to my doctor, and then you're going to see what's happened to you. And I found out that I was pregnant from my first daughter. So I thought, oh my God, now everything, all my plans had to change, because I was planning to buy a flat and, buy a car, a flat, and run my life normally, like everyone. And now I got pregnant and thought, oh God, now my plans has to change. I can be free and whatever I wanted, traveling the way I was traveling. So my life changed from this moment when I got the results of my exams. So what I did is me and my boss, we sent him the results of the exams. So he had the reason to give to the offices in United States, the reason for be extracted. That's a very strange word, but to be sent back to Goiania, to Brazil. So here he did. So by November, end of November, he was arriving. Beginning of December, he was arriving in Brazil again. So we start our life together. I already had rented an apartment for me, and I was living with his brother also. His brother was living with me in the apartment. So when he came back, I was already settled down. I was already with my life running. I was already big, because I got very big when I got pregnant. So when he arrived, he saw me with a little belly because I was about 3 months pregnant when I discovered that I was pregnant. So yeah, so we start our lives together in that way. My daughter, my Anna, my first daughter, arrived in May. She was, his face. He was, she was a miniature of her father. She was a mini daddy. Very, very, look like him very much. So little blue eyes and things like this. She was very happy baby. I had a little. She had a little problem. She had to stay in hospital for 11 days after she was born, and but then she managed, and then our life started. So you move to another flat. It was not an easy life for me because I was very independent, and to adapt myself to be all the time indoors looking after babies was very hard. So I found someone to work for me. So I was going to work and live in her and then come back home, and this type of life. So the girl was very nice, but then my ex-husband decided to move to his sister's house. It was a mistake because she had already, 2 kids, and so you move everyone to the same house. And she was about 6 months old. She didn't like the house at all. So I had to move. About 2 months later, I had to move to my mother's house because Anna was crying all night long. She didn't like the house at all. When we went to my mom's house, she was calm and she was sleeping. But when I came back to that house, she was crying every night, and it was terrible. It was not a very good time, and I was struggling a lot. I even thought in leaving everything behind and run away. God, it was terrible. It was very difficult. I didn't have any reason to stay. And then one night I was very depressed, very, very depressed. And then I decided, okay, I leave her with her father, and I went to a long walk. And then in that night I said, I'm not gonna go back. I'm gonna run away. That's not life for me. And I was sitting in a place in a place in the city, in a park in the city, So I was sitting in there, and then one man approached me and sit by my side and started to talk to me. And he said, "What you are doing here? That is not a place for you. Everything is gonna be okay." He was sent by an angel to talk to me that night, and he said to me, "Go back to your daughter. Even your husband is not worthy. You have a daughter, and she needs you, and she loves you. Go back to her. Don't go back to him. Go back to her." So I went back, and when I arrived, she was all red because she has been crying all the time. And then I took her in my arms, and that day I decided I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna live with my mom. I'm not gonna stay here. So I took her next day and arrived at my mom's house and said, "Mom, I can't be there anymore. I'm gonna live here." So I stayed in my mom's house. I was already pregnant. I didn't know I was pregnant. So I was about 5 months pregnant already. I didn't know. So my ex-husband decided to move to a countryside. And then because he knew I was not going to go back to his sister's house, so he found a place there and a job in this small city. But then he left me in there with a small baby and run away again. I spent 3 months in that city, and then I said, okay, I'm going. I was already pregnant. I was, nearly having a baby again. So I said, no, I'm not gonna stay here. By December, by Christmas time, I moved back to my mom's house from this city. It was about 6 hours in the bus, you know. So I moved back again, and I left behind my everything in the house, that I was living, and I went back to my mom's house, and it was there when I had my baby, my second baby, and Rodrigo, and then it was a very difficult time for me. I had the baby by myself. I went by myself to the hospital. I was alone all the time for this delivery because I had all cesareans. So I was by myself having another baby. He was traveling. He arrived about 3 or 4 days after the baby was born. So yes, it was very hard. It was very hard. But I live in my mom's house until my son was about 9 months. Is when I start to work again. I rented a small, very small house, just 2 bedrooms house, a very small one. I rented it for a friend of mine. So I moved from my mom's house to there. Anna was already nearly 2 years old, and Rodrigo was about 11 months when I, or 9 months, 9 to 10 months. So when I moved from my mom's house, and so from then on, I started to work. I built my own business again, and then my life started to get better. It was 1984 when I started to take control of my life again. I rented, then from this small house, I rented a bigger one. So I stayed in that house for about 3 years when I got pregnant of Naina, my third daughter. But between this time when I was working in that house and supporting my family, supporting my kids, paying most of the bills, we had many crashes, we had many challenges as a couple. So I decided to move again. I decided, okay, now it's time for me to, to take control, 100% control of my life. I don't want to get it. I don't want to be in that married anymore. I want to move on from this moment. I want to move on from this situation. I can't bear the situation anymore. So I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move on. So I decided I called my brother and said, look, I'm gonna move to Brasilia. Can you help me? And he said, yes, of course I can help you. Come back home. You found a job for you. You found a place for you to live. You stay in my house until you found a job, and then you found a place for you to live with your kids. No problem. Come. So he went to Brasilia also, but he went to the government to do something. I can't remember what he did. He went by airplane. His friend, one of his friends had, business, and so they went by airplane to Brazil. Okay, I'm gonna go by bus, so it's not gonna be possible. He's gonna go by plane and come back by plane, and I'm gonna by bus. So he left in the morning to Brasilia, And I left in the afternoon with my 2 kids and my luggage. So now I'm going to start a new life. So I arrived in the station, in the bus station, and I phoned my brother. Said, "Look, I'm here. I'm waiting for you." He said, "Okay, I'm gonna pick you up." Stay there, and he told me where to stay. And then I sit on the pavement with my kids, waiting for my brother. And then I was explaining, one seat one side, another one to the other side. I explained to them that we were gonna be in Brasilia for some time. And then my son asked, "And Daddy?" "Daddy's not gonna be with us. He's gonna be with in the other house where you were living. So you're not gonna see Daddy for a long time." And then he was looking around, and then he looks at me and said, "Mom, look, Daddy's there." I was shocked. So I saw him with his friend. They went there to drop someone and then go back to the airport to take the airplane. And then he saw me sitting there with my kids, and he understood that I was leaving him. So he came, instead of going, take the opportunity to be free. He came and sit by my side. And then when my brother arrived, he looked at the situation. He didn't understood anything. So when he told him, "No, I came to drop someone, and then I found my wife here." Well, then he decided to stay with us for the weekend. And then he convinced me to go back, and he said that he would change. And I again gave him the opportunity. Well, and then I got pregnant of Naina. And then I said, "Oh God, now it's more harder." It's harder now. And I went deep in depression. I was feeling unwell the whole pregnancy. I'm sorry to Naina, but yes. I had fever every single day from the moment I got pregnant to the moment she was born. I had fever every single evening. Every 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I was with fever. Sometimes it was so high that my father had to drive me to the hospital so they can look at me and see what was wrong. About 2 times I was driving to the hospital because the fever was so high, and I was not able to eat properly, and I was very big. The baby was very big. I had to have injections because I was very anemic. It was very difficult pregnancy for me. And the day she was born, it was a stormy night. The thunders and the lightning. It was very stormy night. And I remember every single moment of this. And then I'm gonna continue this story later. I'm not gonna finish now because this video is getting too long. And this year was 1987 when Naina was born. So I'm gonna finish saying that when I went back, because I had prepared everything in the house, in that house that I was living, because I thought now that she's born, I'm gonna start working again because I stopped working. So I said, okay, when I got pregnant, because I was feeling too sick, very sick to work, so I was not able to work. So I said, now I'm gonna go back to my house and I'm gonna start to work again, and I'm gonna take control of my life again. But then my ex-husband again did another mistake. He moved our house to his sister's house again without telling me. So I spent 10 days in Annapolis because I had to have her in another hospital in another city, because the doctor said that she was gonna be with problems. And then I decided, okay, I'm not gonna have her in Goiania, I'm gonna have her in the hospital I was born, because we had family in the hospital, and the doctors knew my family, knew me, you know. The doctor that delivered her was the son, not the son, it was the grandson of the doctor that delivered me. Okay, so I said it's better for me to be in a place where they have our history, they know us, you know. So I went to Annapolis to have her in the hospital I was born. And yes, it was very good time. It was very, very good. Yeah, it was a very good decision I did. But then I stayed in my auntie's house after she was born for 10 days before I went back to my house in Goiania. So in this time, 10 days, he decided to move our house to his sister's house again. So when I came back home, I was not in my house. I was in his sister's house again. But now she was not there. We were just by ourselves. But then I knew my life, you never go back to normal again. And I tried very hard to take that new in a good heart, but it was very hard for me. It was very hard for me. And then it started a very big challenge time, very difficult time. And I'm gonna say it later, okay? Not in this video. I'm gonna do a second video on this time when I got pregnant of my last baby. Okay, God bless you, keep you safe, and you also, my kids, my grandchildren. And I hope you don't get so depressed about this story. Because now I am here in this beautiful place. Look. Yes, I'm here. It's a beautiful place. Yeah. So, you know, destiny has his own way of taking us. You know, our life is running by forces that sometimes don't have control of it. But if you have faith in our heart, everything is possible. Every challenge can be win. You can win every challenge. Doesn't matter whatever life throws on you, you are strong enough to take everything and be happy. Okay, it was very hard for me. I cried a lot. Yes, I really had cried a lot. But nothing is forever, not the happiness, not the sadness. So one day it goes, and as in my case it's gone, in your case it's also is gonna go. If you are having challenges in your life right now, just be happy. Just face everything like a challenge and a step to grow. It's a step to grow. Okay? Bye bye. See you next one.